My dear students, when you grow up, what do you dream of becoming? Do you dream of becoming a doctor? Well, given the condition of the world today, when we have been victimized by a raging pandemic called COVID-19, we need more doctors to serve the society. Do you wish to become a doctor? Would you like to join the police force, maintain law and order, and probably run a marathon to promote road safety? Well, this is the logo of Kolkata Police. Or do you desire to join the Indian Army as a soldier and protect our country? Or would you like to have your own music band and be the lead guitarist? Or would you like to be an entrepreneur and provide employment opportunities for the people of our country? Or would you even wish to become a business tycoon and lead an organization from the front? Or do you dream of becoming a fast bowler and playing cricket for the Indian team? Do you wish to become a fast bowler like Brett Lee? How's that? Before I get started with the chapter, I wish to share some important vocabulary with you. The first word is piercing eyes. Now when we talk about piercing eyes, what does it mean? Piercing eyes are eyes which are deep-seated and full of wisdom and experiences. The next word is perched. You all know how a bird sits on a tree. So the bird doesn't sit on a tree, it perches on a tree. So whenever you just sit on the tree hanging your legs from the branches, that's called perching. Startling. I'm sure most of you know this word. You are startled when you are actually surprised. So when you talk about something called a startling experience, it's like an experience which has surprised you. The next word is raggedly old man. So here we are talking about an aged man who's very shabbily dressed. The next word is catapult. How many of you have used catapult to throw stones? Now, it's like two sticks bent in the form of Y, where you attach a rubber band, put a stone and use it as a sling. Well, but be very careful. Should not go and hit someone. Okay? Otherwise, you will have to bear the consequences. So catapult. And another word that we have now is stuffled. Stuffled means to walk away slowly without making a noise. You may have seen in one of my YouTube videos where I spoke about an important topic called intonation. Now, intonation is the rise and fall of the pitch of your voice when you are reading literature. Remember, when you read a chapter in literature, be it poetry or prose, you have to add a lot of emotions. And that emotions are showcased by the rise and fall of the tone of your voice. So that's intonation. I'll tell you an example about intonation in this particular chapter. So the central theme of our lesson is a young boy of your age who has a dream, but he doesn't realize until there's a beggar who comes in his life and asks him whether he has a dream. This boy is a daydreamer. He loves to perch on the branch of a lychee tree. Do you love lychees? Well, it's a very delicious fruit, my dear students. And it's also very good for health. But you should not consume it in large quantities because it has got a lot of sugar content and it could be harmful for your health as well. So this boy was sitting on a lychee tree and he was daydreaming. And he was also having lychees. Until a beggar is introduced into the story. Now this beggar had a hunch, like most of the beggars do, because he was very old and tired. He had grey beard, well I have black, grey beard, and he had piercing eyes. Eyes which were brimming with knowledge, wisdom, and experience. And the biggest surprise of this story about this beggar is he spoke in English. The moment he saw the boy sitting on the tree, he looked up and asked, "Hello, my dear child. What is your dream? Do you have a dream?" This boy is like, well, he was startled to see a beggar speaking in English. And then he said, well, no, I probably don't have a dream. Most of the kids do, they love to go around playing with catapults. But talking about me, I don't have a dream. But the beggar said, well, I think you do. Think about it. So when the boy gave it a thought, he remembered that he used to share a very small accommodation with his siblings and family, and he always wanted to have his own room with his own tree. So now the beggar asked him, so it's good to have your own room, my dear child, but dreams are unlimited. There are no restrictions to daydreaming. But talking about dreams, dreams should not be only building castles in the air, my dear children. It should be something concrete, like how Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said, dreams are not that make you go to sleep. Dreams are those that take your sleep away. Till the time you reach your goal, your hard work, determination and sincerity should never stop or wane like a crescent moon. It should be always like a full moon. So the beggar warned the child of having materialistic dreams. He said, today you wish to have a room. Tomorrow you would like to have a building, then a territory, and then a kingdom. Once you have a kingdom, you will be probably forgetting that you wanted a room once. So human lives are like that. Our demands never end. But it is very important, children, to be happy with what you have. Because do remember that whatever you have, others may not even have that. And when you set a target or a dream or maybe an ambition in life, please do not follow what others do. Remember, I look different and you look different. Why don't we look the same? When the creation was incepted by the Lord, He had a plan. He thought of making everyone different in terms of skills, talents, and physical appearances. Do you realize why? Because He wanted everybody to be different and independent. However, today we only follow. But given the condition of the world today, my dear children, we need more leaders. There are enough followers. We need more case studies, more examples, people to lead the show. And you can actually set an example in whatever you do. So do not judge anyone by the dream that he or she has. We should always foster and encourage our friends and near and dear ones to dream. Because if you do not dream, you will become a frog in the well. And if you do not have expectations from yourself, you are only going to see what's cooking in the neighbor's kitchen. But that is not going to fulfill your dreams. Remember, your dreams should be quantified to such an extent that they should be relevant to what you are and what you can probably achieve. On hearing his aspiration, this beggar recommended him to work harder and to plan. My dear children, this is the time of your life when you can actually set short-term goals and long-term goals. Long-term goals could be the professions which I showcased at the beginning of the lesson. To reach that particular milestone, don't you think that we should actually start those building blocks from now on? For example, if you wish to become a doctor, do you know the names of some of the medicines for headache? If you don't, That's information gathering which you should do today. That is the difference between setting small term goals and long term goals. Our chapter helps you focus on goals. So in case if any Tom, Dick and Harry asks you whether you have a dream, well, you should be in a position to answer. My dear children, today an ideal successful person is not the jack of all trades and master of none. However, he is the person who is the jack of all trades and master of all. Trust me, today I am a teacher. Now, after looking at me, there could be many children who would wish to take up teaching profession when they grow up. It's a very noble profession. You serve the society at large. However, you should also have experiences in working in different projects and different sectors, and that is the need for studying different subjects. Well, you could be very good in English, but you may not be very strong in maths. But that's not an issue until you have a passion to improve. Remember, with every single day, we have an opportunity to improve. The lesson ends with a beautiful lesson which the beggar imparted to the child. He said 2 lines, and those lines were, "Long live my friend, be wise and strong, but do not take from any man his song." It means to achieve your desire, ambition, or goals, please do not exploit others. A successful leader is one who not only sets milestones for himself, but also encourages others to put in their best. And that is the reason Divine Providence School always teaches you the importance of care, share, and grow. My dear children, I hope you enjoyed this first lesson. Please read this chapter at home once, and I'm sure you'll be able to connect the dots very easily now. I'll enclose the mind map and the notes for this chapter in the video itself. Later, the mind map, notes, and question answers will be shared with you. Till then, take care, stay safe, stay at home, keep dreaming. Dear students, so the name of the first chapter is What's Your Dream? The name of the author is Ruskin Bond, who is an Indian author of British origin and lives in Mussoorie. Mussoorie is in Dehradun, which is in Uttar Pradesh. Some of his famous novels include The Room on the Roof. This chapter is an excerpt from this book, The Room on the Roof, A Handful of Nuts, and When Darkness Falls. Ruskin Bond is known for having written a lot of novels for children. The genre of this story is fiction, and there are 2 important characters. First, a young boy named Rusty. Now you won't find this name in this chapter because he has been introduced only as an young boy. But here I'm telling you his name is Rusty. If you happen to read the novel The Room on the Roof, you will see the name of the character as Rusty. The boy is an orphan, he is a daydreamer, and he stayed in Dehradun with his relative and siblings. The name of his relative was Mr. Harrison. So in this story, you will see him perching on the lychee tree, and he dreamt of having his own room. The main surprise character of this story is the beggar. So the beggar was shabbily dressed, he was bent with age, white beard, and he had piercing eyes. He asked the boy about his dream. And the best part about the beggar was he spoke English. Now let's come to the backdrop. The young boy is perched on a lychee tree and is daydreaming when a beggar asks him about his dream. Later, the beggar imparts few important life-changing lessons to the boy. Here's the mind map for this chapter, dear students. The mind map is a pictorial representation or a summary which will make your comprehension easier. Here's the lychee tree. Can you see the boy? He's perched on the lychee tree and he is daydreaming. Do you see the beggar here? The beggar has a hunch and he asks the boy about his dream. The boy is confused to see an English-speaking beggar, but he later confesses that his dream is to have his own room, as you can see. So the beggar advises him to stop dreaming only. He asks the boy to focus on his goals and work hard, because only daydreaming won't bring any laurels. Next, the beggar shares his own story about how he had all the luxuries of life. Even then, he never stopped demanding and dreaming until one day he was finished. He lost everything what he possessed. Finally, at the end of the story, you have two beautiful lines which were spoken by the beggar to the little boy. He said, "Long live my friend, be wise and strong, but do not take from anyone his song." How beautiful these lines are. If you dive deep and try to understand the meaning, you will see that this talks a lot about self-introspection, self-actualization, and working towards making your life better rather than criticizing others and complaining. Thank you, children. God bless you.